I know what you're thinking. You're like, V, Mass Defect Andromeda was already released. What do you mean it's going to be good? Are they making a remake? No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is modern marketing. It's the cargo cult of AAA entertainment. You see, there was a time when they would hire skilled people. And those skilled people would create an IP. Like, say, I don't know, Dragon Age, right? And this game is absolutely amazing. Like, it's a cultural phenomenon. People go to university and they talk about the game. You contact your friends. Everyone is playing it. Everyone knows what you're talking about. The internet is filled with memes. Amazing game. And then they decide to make a sequel. So they ship out the sequel, and the sequel isn't as good as the first one. People are disappointed. They're like, well, I like the first one better. And then they announce a trilogy. Then they announce a new Dragon Age, Dragon Age Inquisition. And this one is like really bad. It's really disappointing. A lot of people are complaining. A lot of people are saying, wow, like this is worse than the sequel. In fact, in hindsight, the sequel wasn't that bad. I mean, it had its flaws, but at least it was closer to the original. And then you have the game journalist saying, well, you know, you didn't like the sequel, and now you do, because you constantly compare the third one with the second, so eventually you're going to like the third as well. What the game journalist is doing here is issuing a threat. Like, they are directly threatening you. They are threatening you that in the future there's going to be a new Dragon Age title that is going to be even worse than the third one. And by comparison, you're going to start appreciating the third one more. So, circling back to the title of this video, when I'm saying that Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be good, it's because they're making a fifth one. And it's going to be that shitty, it's going to be that bad, that you're going to wish you played Mass Defect Andromeda. You're going to pick it up again. You're going to go on Steam and you're going to say, you know what? I actually want to play Mass Defect Andromeda. Why am I saying this? I mean, look, it's getting to the point where the trailer isn't even out. Like, I'm becoming such an expert at predicting this shit. I don't even need to see a trailer. I don't need any information. Like, all I know is that it's the year of the Lord, 2024, and BioWare is making a new game. That's all I need to know. All I need to know. Like, I don't need any other type of information. I do not believe that they have any competent writers left. Unless they're firing their entire writing team. Unless they're starting to hire the original people that wrote the original game and actually allow them to have creative freedom. There is no fucking way you can come up to me and tell me with a straight face that they have individuals competent enough to write Liara Tassoni or to write Talizora Vas Normandy. Like, those are characters that requires level of talent in order to be able to write their dialogue. It's very difficult to make a character like Talizora and make them relatable. These chuckleheads can't even write Dragon Age. Like, Dragon Age is mostly about the lore and the universe. Like, you can even get away with just mundane characters in Dragon Age as long as you make the world grimdark, as long as the setting is fine. You know, you can just get away with some basic bitch adventurers. And they couldn't do that. And you're telling me that they can write Talizora? You're telling me that they can write Garen? Nah. This is fucking impossible. The only thing that they could probably do, and I don't even think they have the skill to pull it off, would be to make some sort of a decent shooter. Where the gameplay actually holds up, and you got like a cringe story, and you got cringe characters, and you got like a cringe universe. They don't understand the setting, they don't understand everything, but at least, you know, there's like the good combat, and you have like some sort of good gameplay, and maybe like that. But I doubt it. It's like they don't have talented people working there. You know, it's called BioWare, but it's not. It's kind of like your parents' house. You know, imagine your parents' house if we kick your parents out and we bring like 20 homeless people in. I mean, it's still the same house, theoretically, right? It's still your parents' house. Like, the building is the same, but if you go inside, it's probably not, right? The culture is different as well. It's like I don't think they can. And obviously, they're not even like I even know what they're going to do. Like what they're going to give like surgery scars to the Asari. No, Asari is going to actually look good, and they're going to. I mean, Mass Defect Andromeda already made an Asari that looks like a man, so I think like that's going to be the staple now. You're going to want to go back to that Asari actually. Hold on. Like I remember when this guy first came out in the trailer. Like he is the progenitor for characters that are supposed to be female but look like guys. I think like this is the first character of its kind. Is it like most people don't have an issue with trans characters, but they don't like subversiveness. Like they don't appreciate when it's obviously a male-looking character and the developers are like, no, this is a biological woman. Like this is when players are kind of thinking that you lost the plot. But you're going to go back to this dude and you're going to appreciate them. You're going to be like, wow, like this was a great design. At least like the jawline wasn't very strong. At least like from some angles they're passing, right? Yeah, so you're going to have shitty art style. You're going to have shitty story. And the gameplay is probably going to be bad as well. Now, a lot of people will attack me. I know what will happen. It's going to be like, well, V, the game isn't out. The trailer isn't out. Blah, 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 blah. This is a golden opportunity for you. It's a great opportunity. You can save the video, and when the game comes out, you can show me the video and be like, V, look how wrong you were. Look how out of touch. Wokeness is in your brain and blah, blah, blah. That's what you can do. You're not going to do it, because you're not going to have the opportunity. In fact, if you're going to play it by video, it's going to age like fine wine. And the thing is, like, deep inside, they know it. I know it. But they just like being contrarians. It's probably going to sell even poorer than the current one, because I'm looking at the reviews, I'm looking at the forums. A lot of people feel bamboozled by the new Dragon Age. There's a lot of normies that, they actually thought that they will be playing Dragon Age, and the gameplay is different. It's not grimdark. The character dialogue is cringe. So they feel bamboozled. I don't think you can bamboozle them again. Like, if you're thinking of BioWare, the more time passes, the more people forget about the good games they released. I don't know how many people even associate BioWare with Neverwinter Nights at this point. But what I associate it with is Mass Defect Andromeda, Anthem, Dragon Age Vanguard, and Dragon Age Inquisition. Inquisition was a bad game. Like, I'm sorry to say this, but it was. It was a grind fest. I tried finishing it 4 times. I couldn't do it. The game is insanely grindy. Like, there's no reason for it to be like that. It feels as if you're playing a single-player MMO. And I don't know why. They would never do that in Dragon Age 1. They would never do that even in Dragon Age 2. Like, Dragon Age 2 has its problems because, it's got only one map. Like, you're in the city, and the idea is that instead of, like, exploring the game world, you're just in the same city, and time passes and things happen, right? So, like, you're the guardian of the city, and, now there's a mage that's doing some sort of weird explosion ritual, and you have to stop them. Oh, now the Canari are attacking, and you gotta stop them. Like, that's pretty much how the game is like. But, they didn't have that much time and resources to invest in the game. So, they cheapened it out. But it's still a solid game. Still a solid game. Like, my theory stands. It's like, well, they had to make a third one so that I can appreciate the second. Yeah, no, it is. And Dragon Age Inquisition, if you're thinking about it, I mean, yeah, it's grindy, it's annoying, but, like, at the end of the day, it's not Vanguard. And I don't care how many people buy Vanguard, it's a shitty game. Shitty writing, shitty characters. Feels like a sitcom, honestly. Like I was watching a streamer now that they were talking about coffee like, at the office. Like, every single conversation feels as if it's happening in a liberal campus. And this is supposed to be a grimdark fantasy. Generic, bland. It's just, ugh. So yeah, Mass Effect 5. Not very excited. And by the way, I think that they're announcing that they're not happy with Vanguard either. From my understanding, and take it with a grain of salt, from my inside sources, what's happening is that EA was basically trying to test the water, see in what direction their games can go. And with Vanguard, they're basically trying to capture the old audience with the name Dragon Age, while appealing to the younger generation with the woke shit. So it's not a grim dark fantasy; it's a rainbow fantasy. And if they make even, they're happy with it. Like, it's peanuts, it's just like a little cog in a machine. It's not something that's really going to affect their bottom line. But they're also banking on the marketing, right? Like the new age marketing, where they tap into the political correctness, into the culture war, and they have like people using word of mouth in order to push their game. But they didn't expect that the people doing the game are going to be that woke. Like, they thought it's going to be a little bit woke, but they didn't thought that you're actually going to sit down at the table and be forced to listen to pronouns. Like, they didn't expect the wokeness to be dialed up to 11. Now, what I know on how wokeness functions, usually they will be told that it wasn't woke enough. That's why it didn't sell as much. So I do expect that Mass Effect 5 is going to be woker. Definitely, like, I guarantee to you, this is my prediction, okay? The Asari are going to be they, them. Like, they're going to focus really hard on how Asari identify as a gender, and there's going to be an Asari that doesn't like being a woman and all that stuff. Like, if you're going to have a non-binary character, it's going to be an Asari. How do I know this? It's going to be, because there's no trailer out, right? And if I know this, and the writing is so fucking predictable, can we finally admit that woke people can't write for shit? Like, if you can predict the writing even before it's out, give me a fucking break. We'll see if I'm right or not. I mean, it's going to be announced eventually, and then we'll see if I made an accurate prediction or not. Let me know what you think, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.